Hello everyone, today facts from the world of aviation. Some are surprising, others are just funny or funny. This list is compiled from various sources. I hope it will be useful for you and it is just interesting to get acquainted with them. 1. How much liquids a person loses during the flight. According to research, every hour of flight, a person loses up to 2 glasses of fluid from the body. On long flights, dehydration can lead to thrombosis, so you need to drink water before, during and after the flight. 2. How many parts in the aircraft? The Boeing 747 consists of 6 million parts. This model of airliner became so popular because it was the first aircraft of this size. 3. Which airline was the first? KLM, Royal Netherlands Airlines is the world's first commercial airline, founded in 1919. And the first flight was made on May 17, 1920 from Amsterdam to London. 4. How to save airlines. In 1987, American Airlines were able to save $40,000 a year by removing one olive from every salad served in first class. 5. What kind of transport is safer than aircraft? Air travel is the second safest form of transport. In the first place is the escalator. But imagine how long it will take to travel on an escalator of 1,000 kilometers. 6. How many people are afraid to fly? More than 80% of the population suffers from aerophobia, the fear of flying. At the same time, even those who have never flown can suffer from it. 7. How much does the most expensive air ticket cost in the world? The most expensive air ticket in history cost Sydney millionaire Julian Hayward an unimaginable $123,000. For the first time, a test flight ticket for the new Airbus A380 has been sold. The flight took place between Sydney and Singapore. 8. How frequently aircraft takes off and sits. At O'Hare Airport, Chicago, a plane takes off or lands every 37 seconds. That's almost 100 planes per hour. 9. How much aircraft will pollute the environment? 70% of modern aircraft today are 70% more efficient in terms of fuel consumption per passenger than aircraft in the 1960s. This is for those who say modern airplanes are more polluting. 10. What is the span of the wings of a modern airliner? The wingspan of the Airbus A380 is longer than the length of the aircraft itself. Wingspan, 80 meters, aircraft length, 72.7 meters. 11. Why food changes taste on a plane? The taste of food on an airplane is different from how it tastes on the ground. During the flight, the mucous membrane of the nose dries out from the air conditioners, and during the climb, about a third of our taste buds are dulled from the change in pressure in the cabin. This is the reason why many airlines add a lot of salt and other spices to their food. This feature should be included not only in interesting facts about aviation, but also in interesting facts about the human body. The taste of food on an airplane is different from how it tastes on the ground. During the flight, the mucous membrane of the nose dries out from the air conditioners, and during the climb, about a third of our taste buds are dulled from the change in pressure in the cabin. This is the reason why many airlines add a lot of salt and other spices to their food. This feature should be included not only in interesting facts about aviation, but also in interesting facts about the human body. 12. What is the principle of the flag on the aircraft? Most aircraft flying internationally have the flag of the country that owns the airline at the tail end. On the left, the colors are in the correct order, on the right, vice versa. This is what the flag would look like if it were placed on the flagpole. 13. World first steward Heinrich Kubus from Germany was the world's first steward. It was back in 1912. 14. Interesting facts about olives or how to save $1.2 million. Converting paper pilot guides to electronic form by American Airlines could save up to $1.2 million a year in fuel costs, according to a study. 15. AIRCASTER on the Earth. One of the most tragic plane crashes occurred not in the air, but on the ground. In 1977, 2 aircraft carrying more than 600 passengers collided head-on during acceleration. The incident is known as the Tenerife Clash. More than 500 people died. 16. Riddle: would the plane become lighter if all the passengers jumped out at the same time? The answer is no. In fact, everything would have happened exactly the opposite. According to the basic laws of physics, any action has a reaction. Accordingly, having pushed off at once, the passengers would have pushed the plane down. True. With the engines running, the autopilot will instantly bring the plane back on course, and in the end the weight of the plane would still become less. 17. How much was a ticket cost in the past century? In the 1940s, a flight from London to New York would have cost a Londoner 1 year's salary. 18. First black stewardess. Mohawk Airlines hired the first African-American flight attendant in the United States in 1957. Her name was Ruth Carroll Taylor. 19. How the pilots speak SOS. Mayday, pronounced Mayday, although literally translated from English as Mayday, is an international distress signal, similar to the SOS signal, and comes from the French Maraides, help. 20. How many years are the aircraft? The average age of commercial aircraft is 19 years. 21. How much airlines spend on food? Singapore Airlines spend about $700 million a year on food, of which around $16 million is on wine alone. First-class passengers consume 20,000 bottles of alcohol a month, making Singapore Airlines the world's second-largest customer of Dom Perignon champagne. 22. Sex in the air. According to Maxim magazine, the vibrations and reduced oxygen levels in an airplane contribute to more intense orgasms. 23. How much fuel is burned by the aircraft? The Boeing 747 burns about 4 liters of fuel per second. For a 10-hour flight, the volume of fuel burned reaches 140,000 liters. 24. WHO buy most champagne in the world. The largest buyer of champagne in the world is the Emirates airline. 25. What language speaks aviation? English is the international language of air travel. All pilots, flight attendants and other personnel on international flights must know English. 26. Why aircraft light is switched off during takeoff and landing? The reason the cabin lights are turned off during takeoff and landing is to help your eyes adjust to weaker light. In the event of an accident, the eyes will quickly adapt to the environment, and the evacuation will be faster and safer. 27. About the stewardess of Thai Airlines. 28. How to differ Boeing from Airbus. The side lights on the wings of Airbus planes flash with a double flash, on Boeing's there is a single flash. 29. Kennedy Airport. New York's Idlewild Airport was renamed Kennedy Airport on December 24, 1963, a month after the president's death. 30. Interesting facts about the number of flying people. Only 5% of the world's population has ever flown by plane. Many people in less developed countries will likely never use air travel. On the other hand, there are a small number of people who fly very often. 31. Which airline makes the most international flights? Low-cost Ryanair carries more passengers on international flights than any other airline. 32. Are the pilots sleeping during the flight? According to a study in the UK, Norway and Sweden, more than 40% of pilots admitted to falling asleep while flying. A third of them noted that when they woke up they noticed that the co-pilot was also asleep. 33. How much have all Boeing aircraft fly? All Boeing 747 aircraft have flown over 56 billion kilometers. That's the equivalent of 75,000 flights to the moon and back. 34. Concorde and the sexual life of camels. When Concorde aircraft began to be used in the Middle East, in Bahrain, there were complaints that sonic booms upset camels and ruined their sex lives. It is interesting to know how they conducted this study. 35. Which airline has the most huge aircraft? Emirates operates the largest number of Airbus A380 and Boeing 777 aircraft in the world. 36. The brothers Wright and modern aviation. The Boeing 747 has a wingspan greater than the first flight of the Wright brothers, which was only 36 meters. 37. The first in the world. The world's first online check-in technology was used by Alaska Airlines in 1999. 38. The oldest and safe. The second oldest airline in the world, Qantas, is considered one of the safest. No fatal accidents have occurred on board these airlines. 39. WHO was first to refuse propellers. On June 11, 1962, Air India became the first airline in the world to have all aircraft with jet engines. 40. How to become a stewardess in the 1930s. The first female flight attendants in the 1930s were supposed to weigh no more than 52 kilograms, have a nurse's education and not be married. 41. Leave sitting rest. 75% of onboard squabbles occur when passengers lower their seats too much in economy class. 42. Interesting facts about your flight. Pilots are 75% more likely to go out to say goodbye to passengers if there was a soft landing. 43. Take plaids with you. Plain blankets are washed every 5 to 30 days. 44. WHO is above. The wingtips of the Airbus A330 are 200 in height, like the tallest man in the world. 45. When was it forbidden to steal aircraft? Airplane hijacking was not officially banned until 1961.